What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Liam 501st channel. And today we're talking about the Marvel news that just dropped today during the presentation that Disney was having with their Disney Plus. And Kevin Feige came out and he dropped some major news on Marvel announcements and the future of Marvel Studios and the MCU. And as always, I am joined by my friend Josh. How you doing, Josh?
I'm doing great, man. How about you?
All right. So you watched this entire thing. I was a little bit late to the party. What did you think?
As soon as I saw Feige, I was pumped. You started hearing the theme song, and I was like, "Here we go, this is it." Overall, just phenomenal. I've been looking forward to it as soon as I heard, because I didn't realize the investor thing was going on today. And then I saw BD Davis from comicbook.com tweet about it, and I was like, he's like, Marvel stuff coming up. I'm like, all right, well, so I waited a couple hours for it. So I was pumped. I was hoping for a little more news. We can get into that a little later, but it blew my expectations out of the water, covered everything I wanted to hear, or mainly everything I wanted to hear. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for this next year. I think the earliest thing we're going to see is in January 15th for WandaVision. So
awesome. All right, we can go ahead and get started. I actually joined it late. I started watching right as they started doing the Loki trailer, and I was blown away. Some stuff I didn't think was going to get announced. I thought it was going to be updates on the stuff we already knew that was happening. Like stuff like I did not expect to get an Ant-Man 3 update or some of the other stuff we got. But let's go ahead and dive in. All right, Marvel Studios. We are on the Marvel Studios official Twitter account. All right, so here we are. So the first one obviously was WandaVision.
It's not up on the screen.
It's not?
No.
Oh, hang on.
There we go.
Okay. All right, so we are on the official Marvel Studios Twitter account, and starting off, they obviously gave us finally a release date for WandaVision. That's going to be January 15th, which is in a little over a month. Yeah. So we're finally getting some new Marvel Studios content in just over a month. I'm actually looking forward to this one. Vision was a really beloved character of mine. I was really sad when he died in Infinity War.
Yeah.
And I'm interested though how they brought him back, and I'm interested to see how this is going to play into future projects. What are your thoughts, Josh?
Yeah, I remember when they announced they're doing the Marvel TV shows, I was like, they said WandaVision, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm not super excited. I like Wanda. I love Wanda and I love Vision, but
definitely
the show just seems weird. Like, it's not like, how are they going to do this? But now that we're seeing, just with all the trailers, they're really setting up something cool. And I think they're really setting up, at least in my opinion, they're setting up there's a comic book thing where Tony Stark made a tech copy of the entire world. And I think they're setting that up. There's basically, this might go into Spider-Man a bit. They set up one point Spider-Man when his identity was revealed. He teamed up with Reed Richards, Tony Stark, and Doctor Strange to create a tech world where the entire world didn't know who Peter Parker was, and they didn't know who Spider-Man was. He was going to jump over there, but Mary Jane refused to go with. So he actually ended up not going there. The world was created. He ended up actually selling his soul to Misfios to wipe the world of like his everyone's memory. It was a really weird thing. Cool story, but so we might kind of see this. We might actually see this thing where there is this tech world possibly, and if not for the entire world, maybe somehow created for Wanda, or maybe through Vision's mind. Who through the Mind Stone even. Like we don't know. So that's gonna be really fascinating how they do this.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it. 1 month away.
Yeah.
Also, while we're on the topic, where the heck was the Spider-Man announcement?
Yeah. Okay, so I thought
we get all these projects we hadn't even heard of, and this past week we've been getting info dumps about who's going to be in Spider-Man 3, and nothing.
Yeah, so
Feige even mentioned the third Spider-Man film.
I know. Oh, well, yeah. Did. Yeah, because we talk about that later. because he even says for the next one, with Multiverse of Madness, it ties directly to Spider-Man. That's the first time we've heard that. It's the first time we've heard them say it connects to Spider-Man 3. It was always theorized, but it was never actually said. So hearing that is fantastic. And I was like, I thought they were going to be like, speaking of Spider-Man, here's the official announcements, and then nothing. And I was just like, maybe it's a thing with Sony. They can't. I mean, who knows? But I feel like this would be
if Feige was able to name drop Spider-Man on the live stream, then he probably could have said something.
I don't know, man. I hope. It's so weird. It's so weird.
Who knows? Maybe they're keeping things like really under wraps, and they'll give us another some announcement. It's coming out in a year, so who knows?
Yeah, I mean, they Spider-Man tends to do that sometimes. They really hold it until the last minute.
But. All right. Next up, we have the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I was someone who actually I didn't love Doctor Strange. It's okay, but I really didn't like it. But I am really looking forward to Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because Benedict Cumberbatch is fantastic as Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And now with Sam Raimi attached to the project, I mean, obviously everybody loves his Spider-Man films, so this is going to be it's probably going to be really good. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, the way they kind of made it seem is it's more of a horror. It's more of a horror genre, and it's going to be actually scary. And I think that's perfect. I think Doctor Strange has this really cool thing where he has this ability to really explore a lot because he has so many different realms and different connections. I'm actually kind of excited to see a Marvel, I guess New Mutants was a Marvel, scary movie, but like an MCU kind of scary movie-esque Marvel movie, especially with Doctor Strange attached, because again, we have this multiverse that it's in the name. And the fact that it's connected to the next Spider-Man, the fact that Wanda's there, it ties directly to WandaVision even. We're really going to see, I think, the multiverse come out in full force here. And I'm excited for that. It does scare me a bit, but I think Disney can pull it off. If they play it right, they can't just jump in and just throw everything at it. But slowly introducing it like this is probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Next up is probably my most anticipated of the TV shows for Marvel, and that's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because obviously I loved Captain America, and to see now him passing on his legacy to these two, it's going to be really interesting. I think we're probably going to get like a Winter Soldier type show where it's dealing with Shield and the future moving forward. We've seen a couple of clips from the stuff like. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Well, today they actually showed like a full clip, and
really?
a lot of clips. It was right before you popped in.
Gotcha.
They really showed a lot, or it's right above actually, like the 2 minutes. Like they really showed a lot, and like they talk about how there's like a lot of legacy behind the Shield. Obviously behind Cap's shield, and they really play into the fact that Buck even says the world needs hope, and Captain America gives them hope, and we need you. They never showed, and I think for proper reason. I mean, they never showed Falcon in the Captain America suit with the shield. The shield was never actually in it, but it's obviously the logos hinted around it. They hinted at it a lot. So I think they're waiting for the show, and that's probably smart to do, is to kind of wait for Falcon to fully suit up, till he's in the show. I'm actually reading. There's a new Falcon Winter Soldier comic series I've been reading. Fantastic. It's them basically. It's them fighting Zemo. So kind of what we're going to see, but this is after Zemo was presumed dead. So it's kind of them getting back to their roots to fight Zemo. So that's gonna be really cool to see how that works. But I think Zemo's a good enemy. He's
I thought he was fantastic in Civil War, and I wasn't sure if we'd ever see him again. But I'm glad though that Zemo's coming back because he is a fantastic villain.
Fantastic villain. He's sadistic. He's perfect. He's perfect for especially for Bucky to fight. I think Bucky and him are gonna have a really good dynamic.
Yeah. I hope he beats him to death because of what he did.
Yeah, we'll see.
And then this one though came at a surprise to me because in Infinity War we obviously saw Loki die, and then in Endgame we saw him in another universe though he's still alive in another timeline. And that's where this Loki's taking place. So
yeah, and they set that up, because like obviously like with what's her name from Doctor Strange, the bald girl, I can't think of her name.
The Ancient One.
The Ancient One, thank you. Setting up, when you remove one stone, a different timeline is open. So they really set that up, which was smart on them to do, with Loki being gone. But the show just seems interesting because they said it's kind of a murder mystery. I like that they even hinted that Loki was B.D. Cooper. Who do you know the story of B.D. Cooper?
I don't.
It's the world's only successful plane hijacking that was never caught. He went onto a commercial plane. He gave a letter to the flight attendant which said, I have a bomb in my briefcase. You're going to give me, I think it was a couple $1 million. What I want is a couple $1 million. I want one parachute and or like I want a couple different types of parachutes and that's it. And then we're going to stop and refuel. It's like they stopped and refueled once they took off. Literally halfway through through his final flight, he just jumped off in the night and disappeared. Never caught. So I kind of like that they hinted that it was Loki and he just was using the Bifrost to disappear. That's why he was never caught. Because Loki.
Huh.
And I'm like, that's a kind of I'm a historian, obviously, so like a good play on history. I really enjoyed that. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they play with Loki because it kind of looks like he's playing the good guy and the bad guy all at once. But that's very Loki-esque in general.
Yeah, this is a Loki that though didn't go through any character development from Ragnarok or Infinity War.
Yeah,
so it's Loki right after the Avengers when he's just lost, where he was going to take over the world. It'll be interesting.
I wonder how they're gonna. I wonder how Hiddleston did that. Like how he had to revert back. I'm sure that was difficult.
Oh yeah, totally. You go this far with the character, and then you have to go back to where he used to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna yeah. All right, and then next we have What If. Now this is going to be interesting because it's like Kevin Feige said, it's a different takes on like what if this happened instead of this happening, and we've seen like what if Black Panther was taken by Yondu? What if
Peggy Carter became
Captain England?
I think it's like Captain UK or something.
Captain. Okay, that's actually sounds better. And then Zombie Captain America versus.
Yeah, so I was excited to see Marvel Zombies. I think they're hinting at Marvel Zombies. I read the new Marvel Zombies and it was good. I haven't read the old one yet. But it's a really, really interesting thing because it's all about like literally a zombie virus that specifically targets it turns everyone into zombies, but superheroes are essentially immune. Immune in the way that they don't turn into regular zombies, they turn into zombified versions of themselves. So
Zombie Avengers.
Yeah, basically. In the newest one, one of the only heroes to survive the two that survived were Blade and Spider-Man. So it was just Spider-Man just kicking, beating up a bunch of zombies, zombie like Captain America, stuff like that, which is cool. So I would like to see a Marvel Zombies. I think that'd be really cool. It'd be a fascinating thing to dig into. It's one of my personal favorites. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Interesting. This one and the next one is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, if we recall from Iron Man 3, the villain was a edited version of the Mandarin where he didn't have the Makluan rings. He wasn't the way he was, I guess, in the comics. The only knowledge I have of the Mandarin is from the Armored Adventures TV show where Tony's a teenager. And then obviously Iron Man 3. I know a lot of people have a problem with the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. I didn't. I actually really like Iron Man 3. And then
that's a good movie.
The Marvel one-shots in 2014, they did one of the Mandarin where this spy sneaks into the jail he's in and says, hey, the guy wants his name back. And so now we're getting, I guess, the official Mandarin in this, along with the Makluan rings. I know absolutely nothing about Shang-Chi, although with the tie-in of the Mandarin, I'm interested.
Yeah, I know nothing. I know they just started another comic series. I meant to pick it up. I haven't gotten to it. It's not on the top of my list of ones, so I kind of have been pushing it off. But yeah, I know very little. It comes out right after my birthday, which next year, it's gonna be kind of cool.
Nice.
Normally I get Spider-Man around my birthday, so I'm a little disappointed about that because I'll miss out on that. But I'll still go see this movie, I'm sure.
You'll get it for your half birthday.
Yeah, that works.
December.
It works.
Summertime seems like the perfect time to release a Spider-Man movie.
It is. Well, okay, like literally the last Homecoming was July. So my birthday's July 6th. It was July, I think 8th, and then Far From Home was July 7th.
Well, it got moved up to July 2nd.
That's right. Then they moved it. So I saw that like for my early birthday party. Like that was me. I went and saw it with my girlfriend at the time and everything. And it was, I remember I was like, yes, like this is like perfect for my birthday. I love Spider-Man, obviously. So I'm sad that they won't do that again because that's my birthday tradition is treating myself to go see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
That's cool. Usually we always go see the movie. So my birthday's in August, so I usually don't have a birthday tradition of going and seeing a movie. And usually if it's an August release, it's usually mid-August, and my birthday's in the first week of August.
Just do it early. Just do it early. It's fine.
And then this one, I was like, okay, of course, because since Comic-Con, they have casted the character of Miss Marvel, and to what I've seen, it looks interesting. I think their actress they got to play Kamala Khan looks pretty interesting.
Looks like her. Looks just like her.
She looks like her in the costume too. I'm excited. The only knowledge of Miss Marvel I have is from Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
Yeah. Yeah, well, she was in the Avengers video game too. They introduced her.
I actually didn't buy that game.
Me neither. From what I understand, I'm glad I didn't because from what I understand, it wasn't great.
Yeah, and I think one of the big criticisms is that a game that's called The Avengers doesn't really focus on the Avengers. It focuses more on Miss Marvel.
Yeah. I think that was the biggest concern. And
it's like, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you focus it on the Avengers though?
You could have called it Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel and the Avengers,
or done the Avengers game and then like built another universe off of that.
Built into Marvel, built into Miss Marvel. Even introduced her, but built into it. I agree. We don't write video games though, unfortunately. They don't ask us for storylines. They really should.
Something interesting about the actress here is that she actually gave Captain Marvel a 2 out of 5.
Review. Yeah.
Which is interesting, but she said very specifically it wasn't because of Brie Larson.
Yeah, and it's good too because Miss Marvel looks up to Captain Marvel. That's the whole thing. Captain Marvel's her hero. I kind of agree. Captain Marvel is a cool character. She's a fantastic character. The little bit I've explored her in the comics, she's really, really good because. And I think that the thing that Brie Larson missed in there, or just not Brie Larson, because I guess it wasn't her, it was the writing, was Captain Marvel's very humble.
Really?
Yeah, she's very humble. She understands that she has these powers, but she's not better than anyone because of them. She very much accepts that she has to use them for good. But it's not a burden either. It's another thing. It's not a burden to her. Very Spider-Man-esque.
Really?
Very. Yeah,
and the game that I played is that Spider-Man, She-Hulk, and Miss Marvel all get paired up together like a group of like a little squad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I even wrote that like Miss Marvel just seems like a Spider-Man-esque hero. I guess I don't know much about her, but very much just gifted these powers and decides I need to use them for good.
Yeah. And with that, I'm interested.
Yeah, because it's also like the coming of age story. Like she's trying to balance school and her powers
Spider-Man.
And her friends, like Spider-Man. I'm like, and I like that. I like seeing it. She's a relatable character for that reason, and I like that. And I like that the storyteller wrote. Like she's a relatable character, and she happens to be Pakistani, which I am too, which made it even better. And I'm like, really, I like that they're not. Yeah, and they're like, I'm not, but they're not focusing on that, and that's cool because they're like, she's just a relatable character, a relatable teenager who happens to be this. That's the way it should be.
Yeah, I got that. I kind of got that a little bit too, and that's exactly what we want. We want good written characters with that they just happen to be that background. Speaking of Captain Marvel, how could we have not gotten a Spider-Man announcement? But we got this.
Yeah. I don't know. I get it because we're meeting Monica Rambeau, and she's going to be.
She was the little kid in the first one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So we're getting a grown Monica Rambeau, and I get it. Like, and Monica Rambeau is a very important character. I don't know. We didn't get much. I'm not going to sit here and say the movie's going to suck because I don't know. So the first time I watched Captain Marvel, fun story. I was really sick.
Really?
And I was really sick. I had really bad cold. I took a cold medicine. Didn't really work, so I took another one. You're not supposed to do that. I was accidentally like high the whole movie, which didn't help because the movie was very confusing.
Oh yeah, it's also really confusing. It pulls the Man of Steel non-linear storytelling, but it doesn't do it as well as Man of Steel.
Imagine that
does non-linear storytelling really well, but Captain Marvel's did not.
So imagine that with my head literally, I'm busy, my head is just vibrating, like I'm just so like, what is happening? I remembered the movie, but I did not remember it properly because I went back and rewatched it when I wasn't like that. And it wasn't as bad as I remember. It was actually pretty decent. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah. My experience was I saw it in Dolby actually, and
nice.
I was like, yeah, I didn't like this, and that was the first time I kind of went out of a Marvel movie kind of like, yeah. So, and then not too long after, when it was finally on like DVD and such. I was on a plane, and I remember I was scrolling through the movies that they had so that I could watch. And there were several good ones. And there was also Captain Marvel. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give her another chance. And I watched it, and I was like, why did I give this movie another chance? It was just a waste of airtime.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the interesting thing about Captain Marvel is they said, so Brie Larson said that she shot Endgame first.
Yeah. And she's slightly less like.
In Endgame, she's more cocky. Like I remember in Endgame, she's more cocky and she's more of the I'm Captain Marvel and I'm better than you. And it's like where the first one, she was very much like, you know, her movie was very much her trying to navigate her character. And I think that's good. She did well because you could see she was just a person trying to learn who she was.
The only problem I would say is that her performance kind of came out like a wooden stick. So she was kind of lifeless though. And is it storytelling? Is it her performance? I mean, after this movie, I think with this movie, we will know whether it's writing or storytelling, unless the writing also sucks. In that case, it'll just be get the Russos to do it, for crying out loud.
Yeah, Russos need to do it. I agree. I mean, I've seen Brie Larson's some of her other movies. I can't name any off the top of her head because they're just not that they're not that good.
I know she was in Kong Skull Island.
Yeah, and like from her acting she's very flat as an actress.
Like overall,
I would say she's a pretty one-dimensional, and that's fine. I mean, I think that has its place, but it doesn't have its place for a hero. And I think that's the biggest thing. Is I remember after Endgame, they said we're going to make Captain Marvel the new head, the new face of Marvel, and everyone said no, don't do that. And then they said, well, how about Spider-Man and Doctor Strange? And we said, fair, that's fine, we can do that.
Well, because we've become attached to these people. We've seen them in multiple movies.
Well, that's the thing too. Is we're like,
here's Captain Marvel. They just thrusted her in like that, and we're like, hey, we don't like this. Chill out.
Right, and so they're like, we'll do Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. We're like, that's fair. Yeah, no, those are that's a good face of Marvel right there.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd be interesting. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'll watch it.
This is probably my least anticipated movie of this entire bunch, but I'm still going to go see it. It's going to get my money.
Yeah, I mean, I'll see it. I would say my least favorite probably we'll talk about one of the future, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special. Like, it'll be fun, but I'm not like anticipating it.
I'm talking about like the actual movies.
Okay, then yeah, I would say then I would say Captain Marvel 2 is probably my least. That or Shang-Chi, just because I don't know much about the character. I'm
intrigued because it's the Mandarin.
Mandarin will be that'll be interesting too, but we'll see what happens.
What is next? Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, yeah.
I absolutely excited because I love Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye. He's great. And now that Haley Steinfeld is coming into the show as Kate Bishop. I love Haley Steinfeld in Bumblebee. I thought she was really great as
She's
Charlie.
A great actress. She's a really good
definitely.
Actress.
And now I think she's really gonna be really good in this role. The problem is I don't know who Kate Bishop is.
Kate Bishop is kind of a female Hawkeye. I mean, from what I understand, I don't know much about her, but she's very much a female Hawkeye. I think it'll be a cool dynamic. I think Kate Bishop was trained by Hawkeye, so I think it'll be interesting to see the younger blood come in and kind of be like, I have some of the same talents as you. I need to hone in on them, and really see Hawkeye kind of step up and be the dad role. I mean, he's already a dad, but be the dad for Kate.
Yeah. I think that'll be pretty good though if he trains her and she's not like Rey with Luke Skywalker though. It'll turn out a lot better, I think.
I think she just has. I think she has like the same abilities, but it's almost like the thing where it's like, because like Hawkeye's whole thing is like he has the ability, but he had to really hone it in. Is like she'll come in and be like, I kind of need help honing it in.
Yeah, as long as it's well written though, it's probably going to be a really good show.
Yeah.
All right, this one also, I was very happy to hear that the Abomination guy is finally coming back.
Yeah, Tim Roth.
Ruffalo appearing. That's going to be good. I'm not 100% sold on this one yet, just because I was under the impression for the long time that Elizabeth Ross was She-Hulk, but clearly I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean She-Hulk. I don't know much about She-Hulk. I don't know much about the character. I know she's a lawyer. That's from what they said. Like she's a lawyer who deals specifically with superhero related incidents. So I think that gives us a cool thing where we're gonna see other heroes come in. You know, they announced for sure, obviously Hulk, but I would like to see, hey, Doctor Strange shows up. Hey, Falcon shows up. Hey, you know, Ant-Man shows up and he's like, I need help. Like I'm like, you know. I think Ant-Man would be a fun dynamic because I just
who doesn't love Paul Rudd?
I love Paul Rudd. I mean that dude's the greatest. And it might even be interesting too because if they do go into like a pre-Endgame She-Hulk, Tony Stark shows up. You know,
back Robert Downey Jr.
I think he would do it. Yeah. Yeah, so
I think he would do it though if the story, because that's like he said. When he was asked, he's like, "I'm not going to come back unless the story really convinces me to."
Yeah.
And so I mean, Black Widow, he's coming back because it's going to be like deleted scenes from Civil War that they're going to use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but other than that, though, I don't think he's coming back unless they do something.
Yeah, I mean, he's still enjoying all his Disney money. He's fine.
This one though, the next one we're going to talk about is Moon Knight. Now, I hardly know anything about Moon Knight, and I'm looking forward to it. Oscar Isaac was cast in this role, right? That's what we heard.
Was he?
Because on like YouTube where you have like the community option where you post stuff, I've seen a couple posts where like and on Instagram that Oscar Isaac has been cast as the Moon Knight.
I don't know. I mean, I know one thing people thought I'm gonna look that up. People thought Kit Harington was gonna be, and then he was put in the Eternals, and they're like, never mind. Kit Harington would have been fantastic for Moon Knight, by the way. I don't know why they didn't do that, but. Again, I don't work at Marvel, so I don't make these decisions.
Yeah.
Let me look. Moon Knight cast. Yeah, people. I mean, people keep saying. I looked it up. Voiced by Gideon Emery. Oh, because he was in the series. People keep posting about Oscar Isaac, but I don't know.
They didn't officially announce it, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be interesting. I think Moon Knight's kind of one of those fun vigilantes. I think Moon Knight actually, I believe, does a lot with Spider-Man, so I think they can tie that in well. To be fair, though, Spider-Man could be thrown into any... Spider-Man is... I've said that there's two heroes that you can throw in to any story to make sense. Spider-Man for Marvel and Batman for DC, and it just makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
all right. This one caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion. Now, obviously, we have Sam Jackson coming back, and then we have Ben Mendelsohn, who is a great actor.
He's such a good Talos. I mean, he's so good. So
here's my problem, though, is that I was not a fan of how the Skrulls were written in Captain Marvel, and so I kind of didn't like them. And then when we saw them at the end of Far From Home, I was like, no, because I was really hoping the Skrulls would be a one and done. But obviously, they're going to move forward with the Skrulls and such.
So I think the Skrulls are perfect. The thing with the Skrulls, they're a villain.
Yes, and they were not portrayed to be a villain in Captain Marvel.
And they're not
very well written.
Right, and they made them a hero, and they made them an ally, and that to me is the hardest thing. I'm like, how? Because Secret Invasion, the whole storyline is that the Skrulls reveal themselves to be Skrulls and take over the world, or they're trying to take over the world. Basically, a bunch of superheroes have to team up and try to. But the hardest thing is, it's like, how do you know who's the Skrulls can become anybody. So how do you know who a Skrull is? And that gets into those ethical things of like, what do you do? And that's like, I think it's one of the things that lead up to Civil War, if I'm not mistaken, was because like Tony Stark says like wiretap everybody, and Captain America says don't do that. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that I think that's true. But don't quote me on
Civil War in the comics.
The comics, yeah, because there's been like three Civil Wars in the comics. Keep that in mind. But yeah, so Secret Invasion would be cool. I just don't see how it's going to be detrimental. To me, it's not a secret invasion. It's a secret, like, hey, I walked in. Like an invasion would have to be they're coming to take over the United States and the entire world. So how are they going to... I mean, again, maybe Marvel will switch it to like Talos was playing the long game sort of thing.
He kind of deceived them. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, kind of deceived them, but I don't know. I mean, because I just don't know.
Yeah. All right. Next one, and this one I'm a little mixed on. It's Ironheart. Now, obviously,
Ironheart.
I am a big Iron Man fan.
Yes.
But I don't really know anything about Riri Williams. I had assumed that because Tony had a daughter, that they would kind of make her the next Iron person. But
yeah, so I agree. I mean, I agree with you. I think if anything, they're gonna play I can't think of her name. Stark's daughter. What's his name? What's her name?
Lexi Rabe.
No, the character name.
Morgan Stark.
Morgan, thank you. If anything, I'm blanking today on names. They're gonna play Morgan into Rescue, who
okay.
Even though Pepper wore the rescue suit, I don't think she's gonna do it again. But I can see Morgan doing it.
Okay.
As much as Pepper wouldn't want it, I can see she would do it. Especially because, and I think Lexi Rabe would be very into the idea, because I think they'd obviously wait a while, because she's very much like into the idea of, because I think someone made her a rescue suit, like a full on like metal nice cosplay rescue suit. So I think that'd be cool. But with Ironheart, I remember when she came out, because she came out when I was in high school, to very, very mixed reviews. Because everyone was like, it's Iron Man, but it's a black girl. And everyone's like, why not just make a new character? Like, why are you recycling Iron Man with a new identity? And it's like, I kind of agree. I would like to see a different story. I mean, I guess it'll be a little different because she's not rich. But she still has the same level.
I thought it was in the comics that like she snuck into Stark's lab and stole the suit.
I don't know. I honestly don't know much about Ironheart.
I could be wrong on that. That's just I don't. That's what I thought I heard about her in like some kind of like blooper or Watch Mojo video, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, she does create a suit, and like if she takes pieces of one and like, rebuilds it. But like, if they do it well, I mean, again, if they do it well, do it well. She is really smart. I would like to see her and Spider-Man team up, because I think that'd be kind of cool. I mean, the two of easily the smartest people in the MCU. I mean, I think Spider-Man's on the list of top like 10 of smartest humans. So, I think that'd be cool. I mean, maybe even throw Shuri in there, because I love Shuri. We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah. And then this one also was kind of a surprise. The Armor Wars.
Yeah.
I was really excited to get that we're going to get War Machine again, because I love Don Cheadle's War Machine. This is going to be interesting, though, because it's like, what if his armor falls into the wrong hands? We may see Justin Hammer come back.
Justin Hammer, yeah.
Sam Rockwell, and make Titanium Man.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like, that was always one of Stark's biggest fears. That's why he stopped producing weapons at Stark Industries, because he said, my weapons are falling in the wrong hands and it's hurting people.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting they're exploring it after Stark is gone. And I think it makes sense, though, because I can see Rhodey, coming in and being like, okay, Stark is gone. I need to continue this thing because anytime Stark saw his tech fall into the wrong hands, he destroyed it. He didn't try to take it. He destroyed it. And he said, I'll rebuild it if need be. It's gone. I think it'd be more interesting though, because obviously Rhodey can't build it. No one else can build an Iron Man suit. So what happens if you get Iron Man
Friday's
suits
still there, and she probably has all of like the uploaded stuff, so she can probably build a suit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they did hint at that at Spider-Man 2, but still, like, I mean, like, rationally speaking, no one could redesign Iron Man. So what is Rhodey going to do? Is he going to try to take the suits? Is he just going to destroy them? Destroying them is also part of destroying Tony's legacy. So does he feel conflicted? Like, I think they can really explore a lot with, like, is he conflicted? Yeah. Is he just doing his job? Yeah, I don't know. It'd be really fascinating to see what they do.
Definitely. All right, so you said this one earlier, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special.
Yeah.
I got really excited when I saw this because I thought they were going to drop Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and then I saw the Holiday Special, and I was like, okay, not the movie, but the Holiday Special, you know what? They just did the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, so this one will probably be pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's James Gunn again. He's writing and directing.
Definitely.
I mean, thank God they brought James Gunn back. I mean,
I don't think they would have had a very good Guardians 3 without James Gunn.
You can't have Guardian. He's crafted this perfect narrative and perfect script and storylines for Guardians. Yeah, I think even the Russo brothers, when looking at the Guardians, went to Gunn and said, "Hey, you basically write their parts. Like we need you." And I think we have that level of respect for him, and I get it. He did some weird things in his past. It was in the past.
Yeah, but then again, when it comes to stuff in the past, if you regret it and you're sorry about it and you're not doing it, you're still not doing it. Like 10 years ago, and you're not doing it anymore, you shouldn't be canceled.
Right. I mean, the internet was still new 10 years ago. People didn't realize the ratifications of this kind of stuff, and I think we have to. So.
I don't think
I'm just happy he's
get
back.
Fired for stuff they said 10 years ago. I don't think they should be canceled for stuff they said 10 years ago.
No, the world is also a different place 10 years ago.
Both sides.
Yeah, I mean, the world is also a different. I mean, Kevin Hart made some jokes about his biggest fear was his son being gay. He's like, listen, I get that was insensitive at the time, though. It was a different world.
Is that what got him kicked out of hosting the Oscars?
Yeah, he said that, and he tweeted some stuff about like. Fearing or not liking gay people, and he's like, it was a different world. I've my mind has changed. I've world to, I've learned to, but I mean, we can go into that. Like, that's a whole different thing. But like, yeah. I'm just happy Gunn is back. I'm not too excited. I'll watch it.
Definitely. I think it's gonna be nice and fun and some holiday spirit when it comes out.
I want to see a Groot Christmas tree.
Yeah,
like Groot dressed as a Christmas tree. I think that'd be adorable. So we'll see.
Yeah. So that means, though, he said it would be the holiday season before the third Guardians movie. So we're about 3 years away from the next Guardians movie.
Yeah, 23.
So honestly, all right, I'll wait that long. It's Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, next. Okay, here's the Baby Groot short stuff. This one came as a surprise because I wasn't expecting this, but obviously everybody fell in love with Baby Groot the same way they've fallen in love with Baby Yoda.
You mean Grogu? Yes, he's right next to me.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I think it'll be fun just to kind of. I think it's gonna be one of those like, just kind of throwaway shows or like series, but like I'm gonna watch it. It's Baby Groot. I can't say no.
Yeah, it's Baby Groot. Everybody loves Baby Groot.
There's probably going to be like no real substance, but hey, it's fine.
And then this was the interesting one. The confirmation that Christian Bale is going to be in Thor, Love and Thunder as this villain. I'm not sure who the villain is.
Gore the God Butcher, yeah. So, I mean, it was confirmed that Bale was the villain. I mean, that's been known, but we didn't know who the villain was. There was a lot of up and down. Like people had said, God, I can't think of his name. I mean, it's here or there. People had a lot of different theories, but Gore the God Butcher will be interesting. I don't know much about him. I know he's one of Thor's toughest villains, so I think it'll be interesting to see a Jane Foster Thor who is most like going to be this new Thor kind of fighting. This extremely powerful. I mean, his name's the God Butcher. I mean, that's his job is to kill gods. So, I don't know. That'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely. I absolutely love Christian Bale. You know,
Me too.
Batman. He was Batman, and he was
God, I mean,
fantastic.
yeah, I mean, The Dark Knight is still one of the greatest trilogies. The Dark Knight trilogy is
The
just
Dark Knight
fantastic.
is still probably objectively the best superhero movie, and
Objectively, I
one
would
of
say
the
yes.
best movies of all time. And
Mhm.
we make it to Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Quantum Mania.
I was very surprised to see the Wasp still in there because I thought that was like what made Ant-Man 2, and then I thought it was just gonna be like Ant-Man whatever.
So yeah, and that's interesting because I think that they've kind of established that Ant-Man was its own one-off series. Ant-Man and the Wasp is the new, and I like that. I think Ant-Man
Yeah,
and
I
the
don't
Wasp
mind
is
having seen the Wasp.
yeah,
I absolutely love Evangeline Lilly as the Wasp.
love her. I love her to death, and I love the Wasp's a cool character, and I think those two characters really bounce off each other well. You know, because obviously, you know, Paul Rudd's a very, you know, as Scott Lang is very much kind of whatever, and then you know we have Wasp is a little more, you know, serious. I think it's good to see Michael Douglas and Michelle Pfeiffer coming back. The biggest thing I was excited about was they announced that Kang is the villain.
Oh yeah,
Kang. So
Kang was interesting to me is I was introduced to him in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, and I was like, oh, who is this guy? And I thought at first like, oh, this is just a brand new villain that they made just for this game.
no,
And then
no.
and then when Ant-Man 3 rumors like somebody was going to be casted as Kang, I was like, oh, this guy's actually legit. And then over Thanksgiving break, I was at Universal Studios Islands of Adventure, and when you get off the ride, the Doctor Doom Sphere Fall, you go into this gift shop, and up top there's banners of all the different like Marvel villains. You had Kingpin, Doctor Doom, Magneto, and one of them was Kang.
Okay. Yeah.
And
So
I'm actually really interested to see how they go about with Kang compared to like what they did in the video game.
yeah, I mean, Kang is Thanos. I mean, I hope they keep him around, and I hope they set it up to, because especially with the announcement of Fantastic Four, they fight Kang a lot. Kang is a big villain. I don't know how they would just use just Ant-Man and the Wasp. I hope they extend him longer, and this just his introduction, kind of like how we saw Thanos. It'd be cool because like we saw Thanos obviously in like end credit scenes. It would be cool to see.
And then in
Kang.
Guardians,
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to see Kang kind of come out, be this villain, retreat, but you know, then we have Lang be like, "This is the next Thanos. We need to start preparing now and kind of start gearing the team up." And I think that'd be a great way to introduce Fantastic Four too. Even introduce Doctor Doom.
Yeah,
because I'm sure we'll see Doctor Doom. So that'd be cool. I hope that's what they do.
And then speaking of that, I believe the final one that we have to talk about is in fact the Fantastic Four. This was a surprise to me because I didn't think it was gonna be a couple years, I thought, before we finally got the Fantastic Four or the X-Men, and I figured they would go with the Fantastic Four first. But keep in mind, this will probably come out in the next 5 years. This will be the third Fantastic Four reboot in 25 years.
Yeah, I mean it's the same as Spider-Man though. I mean, you know, the
We've had
MCU
Spider-Man rebooted in twice in the third rendition of Spider-Man in 15 years.
Yeah, so I mean, once Disney gets their hands on it, we know they do a good job.
They probably
I'm excited. I'm still hoping for John Krasinski as Reed Richards and Emily Blunt as
that is who I am very hopeful.
I can't think of her name.
Emily Blunt.
Yeah, Emily Blunt. I can't think of the character's name.
Sue Storm.
Sue Storm. Thank you. God, I'm so bad with names today. I'm usually so good at this. Yeah, I mean, I would love to see her as Sue Storm. Those two would be perfect together. I mean, they're married, obviously.
Yeah,
so that'd be a good.
They would be great.
A good dynamic.
And they're doing
so I'm excited.
Quiet Place together. I bet I haven't seen those movies because I'm not a big horror person, but I bet
Quiet
they
Place
have
is awesome. They do. It's so good. You can see it.
I really hope though, because Amber Heard right now is campaigning to try and get the role of Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four.
I don't think they'll do it. Marvel won't do it.
I really hope they don't do that. I think that the Krasinski and Blunt dynamic would be way better and would make for better characters.
The thing is, people have already started making fan art of that.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while.
I mean, for at least 2 years now. And it would be stupid for Disney not to jump on that. I mean, that is free publicity. It is absolutely free publicity if they can jump on. I don't get why they don't, and I hope they do. I mean, it would be the smartest thing on their end to be like, yeah, we're going to do it. One other thing, too, they also announced that they were talking about Blade. They said that's coming together.
Oh, yeah, Blade, that's right. I didn't see one on the screen.
They didn't really say anything. They just like it's coming together.
I didn't see a post on the Marvel Studios page.
It's in early writing. And then one other thing too for Black Panther 2, they said they will not be casting, or they will not be recasting Chadwick Boseman.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did see that. For Blade, I'm actually interested. I haven't seen the Wesley Snipes Blades just because
it's good. It's good.
I've heard they're good. And then for Black Panther 2, obviously it's terrible that we lost Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, I mean,
far too early.
Far too early.
He was only 43.
Yeah, I mean,
and just if he still was with us, he would probably give us another 3 or 4 amazing performances as T'Challa.
Yeah, I mean, T'Challa is
it's really interesting what they're going to do. Are they going to get somebody to mocap and CGI the Chadwick's face on it, or are they just going to straight up say he died off screen and then have Shuri become the next Panther?
I think personally, to do him justice, they should just kind of kill off the character and let Shuri take his place. I think what they should do
is they need to do they had to focus somewhat of to make it feel, I guess, natural. They have to focus Black Panther 2 on him, like have somebody CGI the face, and then in an epic battle at the end, T'Challa goes out fighting like Batman v Superman or Death of Superman style, and then you have at the very end Shuri takes the throne. That was my thought.
See, I don't like that though, because I feel like if they are gonna kill off T'Challa, they got to do it at the beginning. And I think because then you can focus the movie on Shuri struggling with the loss of her brother, becoming the new Black Panther, becoming Queen. All of a sudden, I mean, she's thrust into these roles very, very quickly. She's very young. Another great opportunity for Spider-Man to appear and kind of be like, I kind of get what you're going through with all of a sudden having this power thrust upon you and not knowing what to do with it.
That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean, and again, I mean, this is just my hopes that eventually Sony will let Spider-Man just do whatever that he needs to do in the MCU. I get that that's unlikely, but I mean, I could see Shuri all of a sudden being like, "Get me Parker," and be like, "Dude, what do I do? I don't know what to do with this power all of a sudden." You know, especially at a young age, because I mean, Parker was 15.
Yeah,
when he became Spider-Man, and very similar ages to be like, listen, I don't know what I'm doing either. I'm learning, but we can do this together. Setting up almost a Young Avengers too, be very, very cool to kind of start hinting to see the Young Avengers. There's so many cool stories we can set up. Yeah, I'm just happy they're not recasting them. I would like to see Shuri be the focus.
Yeah, and that brings us to a close. So I guess.
Well, wait, hang on. We got to talk about Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's right, Spider-Man.
We got to talk about Spider-Man. Because
I was disappointed we didn't get an announcement, and I saw you were texting like, "Bro, what the heck?"
Yeah, we're like, what? We're like, this is the perfect opportunity. So we have to address a lot because there's a lot of rumors around this movie, and a lot of things.
It started as rumors, and now, like in the last couple days, it was confirmed by all these people on Instagram. And even IGN's reported on it that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are coming back, along with
I've seen that
Kristen Dunst and Emma Stone.
Emma Stone and Gwen Stacy.
Even some of the villains, like we're getting, it was Alfred Molina. Is that his last name?
Molina? Molina, yeah.
Yeah, he's coming back as Doc Ock. We've got Jamie Foxx coming back as Electro.
Jamie Foxx is confirmed as Electro, and I do know that for sure.
Okay,
he's been confirmed, which I think is a cool. I think it's a cool. I would like to see him again.
It is interesting, I think, what they're going to do, but it is not without concerns.
So my biggest concern is, if anyone's as big of a Spider-Man fan as me, we've seen the end of trilogies or the second movie of installments be god awful because they try to do too much. It's the curse of the Amazing Spider-Man was they put too much in. They tried to focus on Spidey leaving for college, and then Gwen, the whole thing with Gwen, they tried to focus on, they threw Rhino in there all of a sudden at the end for no reason. Electro was in there. Goblin was in there. They tried to throw too much in, and you couldn't really hone in on one story. It wasn't a Sinister Six movie. If they had set up the Sinister Six perfectly and then they all came together, great. They haven't done that.
It sounded like they were trying to set up a ton of new stuff in one movie, but
right, and it didn't work out. It worked horribly. Spider-Man 3, the original Spider-Man 3. As much as I love that movie, I mean, it is a funny movie. It's not good by any means. I enjoy it because it's goofy. I mean, emo Peter Parker's iconic. Again,
they made fun of it in Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, they fell into the thing where they tried to do too much. They threw in Sandman, Venom. They threw in Green Goblin. The second Green Goblin.
I think originally Raimi wanted to do Sandman, and then because Raimi didn't know, he said he didn't know anything about Venom, and then Sony was like, "No, you shove him in, we can make a lot more money." And he's like, "Fine, whatever." And he didn't know anything about it, and so
that's basically what Sony did for Amazing Spider-Man 2 as well. So it's cause for concern. And don't get me wrong, Sony's done great things with Spider-Man. The Spider-Man game is one of the greatest games I've ever played. Seriously, it is possibly my favorite game to play. Spider-Verse is fantastic. I mean,
Venom was our Venom.
I enjoy Venom. I am very excited for Venom 2. They set up Morbius. I'm excited for Morbius. I think Sony is crafting this really good Sinister Six-esque world on their own in their Sonyverse. The MCU kind of needs to have its own place, and that's my problem. Is I think they're throwing too much into the MCU. And it's very much cause for concern. I think Sony just doesn't have a good track record, and I'm afraid that and my other thing is we know the multiverse exists. It's been confirmed. I mean, Beck said it. Mysterio said it, and
he was lying.
He was lying, but he set it up, and now we see with in the multiverse of madness, we see it's existing. It would be weird to go from it's real, but it was a lie, to all of a sudden, oh my gosh, all these multiverses are colliding. And then we get in the multiverse of madness and we get Doctor Strange trying to navigate it. That would be so strange to me. And I mean, I'm pretty sure Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man 3. The only way I can see them making it work is if they kind of do a thing where Doctor Strange comes in and says, "I've learned how to use the multiverse. Let's try something. Let's do this." And then Multiverse of Madness is a prequel. Happened timeline before. That would be the only way I could see it working, but even then that's a stretch, because I think going from no multiverse to all of a sudden Spider-Verse is just way too much to handle. It's too much for people to do. I mean, me as a Spider-Man fan, I want it, but I want it to come in good time.
Yeah, definitely.
I want it to come in good time.
Want it to be well written. I don't want it to be just a huge mess, and there's no way I don't think they can do this all like in one movie, which I think it's good that they're kind of trying to do more, expand on it and tie into other movies.
Yeah, I mean, and also they said that they don't want old villains in the MCU. I mean, that's been said. It was rumored for a while they were going to have Kraven, which is a villain that has not been explored in live action. That'd be an amazing villain to. Amazing villain to explore. Kraven the Hunter's brutal.
I think eventually, though, like the whole thing with we don't want to use past villains. People are gonna like. I really want to see the MCU's take on like Doc Ock and Venom and the Green Goblin. Like
Goblin.
Vulture was. I mean, I love Michael Keaton.
Vulture was great.
I liked Gyllenhaal's Mysterio. But eventually
they did Mysterio really poorly to me.
I mean, as someone who knows absolutely nothing about Mysterio, I enjoyed it.
Mysterio is supposed to be the sorcerer type character, kind of like a Doctor Strange. They really did it poorly. I mean, I get it. They wanted to make it. I mean, there's the running joke that every single Spider-Man villain is going to be someone that Tony Stark pissed off, and that's what they're setting it up for. And it's like, I mean, I guess, but I would have liked to see an actual like magical Mysterio, someone who actually is using these mystic arts to because this whole thing is illusions.
Instead of technology instead of magic.
And I would like to see an actual Mysterio. And also the thing is, people are saying they're setting up a Sinister Six movie and Mysterio's going to come back. It's like, Mysterio's dead. He died.
Or did he?
I also think if it's true, it was also poor on their taste. They need him. I mean, So I don't know. I think what we need to focus on, I think Sony needs to focus on doing the Sinister Six on their own. I mean, Tom Holland can go to the Sony verse, the Venom verse as they're calling it now because it's not the Spidey verse. Venom was good. We have Carnage coming. We have Morbius. We see Vulture appear in Morbius. If there is a jump, Vulture does go into Morbius. It's fine, whatever. I would like to see a Sinister Six. I think with Morbius would be interesting because that's not the normal Sinister Six doesn't have him. Same with Venom. He's usually not the Sinister Six. So that'd be interesting.
They even have a ride at Universal, but it's not called the Sinister Six. It's the Sinister Syndicate. And it's Doc Ock, Electro, Hobgoblin, Scream, and Hydro Man.
Yeah, and I still think the one in the video game was the best. With
oh yeah, definitely. I thought that the lineup for the Sinister Six in the game was way better.
Vulture, Electro, Rhino, Scorpion, Doc Ock, and Mr. Negative. All fantastic, and I like that they really exploit. You really exploit their weaknesses to each other. That was cool.
It was really cool getting to fight two of them at once, like Rhino and Scorpion, and then Vulture.
Like Rhino and Scorpion. Like I love how Rhino and Scorpion you turn them against each other. That's the whole thing. Is they're both hotheads. They're both hotheads. Where Electro and Vulture are a little more smarter, but they're arrogant. So you can use that. You can use their arrogance against them, and it was cool being able to you're right, to navigate that of using their using their weaknesses against them. But yeah, I just worry. I worry way too much about. Again, I would like to see a Spider-Verse. I just feel like it's got to come in good time. I would realistically, I would like to see it in maybe 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. Let's explore the multiverse more. Let's explore Kang. Let's get into the quantum realm more. Don't just throw it out. I hope that's not what they're doing. I
really hope that when it comes to the future of Tom Holland and Spider-Man, that they don't keep up that people know who he is. Because I believe I read heard this in the Civil War comic, is that when he told everybody that he was Spider-Man, Doctor Strange reversed that using a spell. I would like him to do that too, so that way when they move into further Spider-Man films, that he's in college, and then where he is in the video game when he's out of college, is that they don't know who he is, and that way we can keep up that traditional Spider-Man of before.
Yeah,
he's just another Iron Man because everybody knows who he is.
Right, and that's actually the whole thing. Is during Civil War, they were trying to sign the Accords. He ripped his mask off and said, "I support the Accords, and I'm Peter Parker, and I support them." Aunt May actually ended up getting shot right after that, and nearly died. So he immediately realized this is why I wear the mask. It's to protect the ones I love, not myself. So he went to Doctor Strange, said, "You got to help me," and then that's when they create that whole that tech world that he was going to go into. That again, Mary Jane said, "I'm not going to go," so he didn't go, and then he went to Misfios, sold his soul to Misfios. Misfios, basically the devil, and Misfios wiped out everyone's memory. I don't know much after that, but I do know that was one thing. Because I remember after his identity got revealed, I was like, how are they going to do this? I would like to see Doctor Strange maybe work with Reed Richards. Even if they wait a little bit and work with Reed Richards, because Reed is also there, and create this spell or this nano bug or whatever. Whatever they want to do to work. I think it'd be fantastic, and I think that'd be. And I think that'd also be a good way to bring in the multiverse, to be let's talk to others who know what Spider-Man means. Then all of a sudden, we get Garfield, we get Toby, and he's like, "Well, have you guys had your identities revealed?" And it's like, "Well, no." Okay, let's work, but we can work as Spider-Man together to figure this out. Because that's another thing too, is we really don't see how smart Tom Holland is. We haven't really seen that. Mm-hmm. And I would like to see. I guess we kind of did, but I would like to see the three Spider-Man that are incredibly smart working together to try to fix this too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And that is how you bring fan bases. That you got the Toby fans, the Garfield fans, and the Holland fans all together. It's like what they tried to do with the sequel trilogy. They brought the originals and the prequel fans together. You had them all on board.
Yeah,
it doesn't destroy itself like the sequel trilogy did.
Yeah, you try. I trust Marvel a little more with it, but
yeah, and the same thing with the Sony putting everything in there too quickly and rushing and shoehorning stuff. Hopefully, the fact that Disney and Kevin Feige are there, and Kevin Feige having more control than he did when he worked on Spider-Man 3, because he had some he was in some position in Marvel when Spider-Man 3 was released, and hopefully with that they'll be like, hey, we're doing too much. We gotta tone it down.
Yeah, and that's what people keep saying. People keep saying, like, trust in Feige. He knows what he's doing. I'm like, yeah, he's the saving grace because Feige does know what he's doing. I mean, I think the one time he went too big too fast was Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3?
Yeah, they went a little big with all the suits, and then Mandarin, and then we have Justin Hammer, and we have this and that. It's like so much happened.
Justin Hammer was Iron Man 2.
Or Iron Man 2 then.
Oh yeah, that was...
or no, the one with like where like they could they could blow stuff up with like fire. They had like the stuff in their veins. I think it's Iron Man 3.
That's Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. That's right. They went a little too much. Like they just threw a lot in. And because we had Stark dealing with his anxiety, and then we had Happy getting hurt, and then we had this whole terrorist ring, and then we had this and that. And it's like, whoa, hang on, whoa, what is happening?
Yeah.
And I get it, but like after that, I think they could see like it was a little too much and pulled it back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'll trust that they've learned from their mistakes. I mean, they've been doing this for now 12 years. You're gonna have mistakes. I just think that if another Spider-Man series is ruined by them going too big, they're done. I mean, it's sad as much as I hate to say it, they're done. So, I mean, that might be a hot take, but I think Spider-Man is the glue that holds Marvel together at times. So
yeah, even prior to the MCU, he was the forefront of Marvel. Everybody knew who he was.
Everyone knows Spider-Man. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think Marvel needs Spider, and that's why they're fighting so hard to get him, and that's why Sony's holding on to him so hard too.
Well, they know how much he's worth, and Disney is like, no, we really want this, and Sony's like, no, we know how much this guy's worth. We want to hold on to him.
Yeah, and like, and if they do end up selling, if Sony does end up selling to Disney, I hope that they say we get exclusive rights to him for video games.
Well, I hope even if they do that, they bring Insomniac though over to Disney, because that way
Insomniac was just bought by Sony.
I did see that, and that was a little bit unfortunate for me. Like, oh man, now if they end up selling Spider-Man, though, they may not, unless they work that out, they won't be able to. Insomniac won't be able to make Spider-Man games anymore.
I do truly think that Disney will, if Sony were to say, we'll give you movie rights, all merchandise rights, everything. We literally just want the video game rights. We just want to keep the story going with Insomniac. I think Sony will, or I think Disney will budge a little bit. They'll give them that little bit of like, okay, you've done what you could.
Yeah, for now. And then they'll probably come back later. Because like as of right now, I think it's Disney gets the rights to all the merchandise and the TV shows, and then Sony obviously has the video games, and then the movies. Well, they pay for the movie, Disney makes it, and then Disney gets now it's like 25%.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean, it's fair.
For Homecoming and Far From Home, it was 5%, I think.
Yeah, which I think they realized is they're being screwed because, I mean, again, Spider-Man's gold. Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man is King Midas, and everything Spider-Man's in turns to gold.
Exactly,
like 100%. He's King Midas.
I mean, he's in the two of the highest grossing movies of all time.
Right, and it doesn't surprise me. I mean, yeah, he's into the highest grossing movies of all time, but also, obviously, that was like the whole Avengers thing. But like, if you look, I mean, Spider-Man won Game of the Year. Spider-Man I think Miles Morales was the most sold game in November. It was the most pre-ordered game for PlayStation 5 and even PlayStation, like one of the PlayStation 4 is one of the most pre-ordered games. It's shattering records. People are loving it. I mean, people dress up as Spider-Man like crazy. How I do that. I mean, he's such a relatable character. Just Spider-Man is this perfect character that Sony knows they need to hold on to for as long as they can until, I mean, honestly, I think the last resort Disney would do is they would just try to buy Sony.
It's probably going to be
Like,
a while because they just bought Fox.
I know, but I think that would be their last resort if Sony's not budging on Spidey, because Sony has a lot of the power right now. I think we have to point that out. If Disney knows that if they don't make a deal with Sony for MCU, they're in trouble. They're banking a lot on him. Sony knows that as well. They're going to take advantage of that, and they're going to kind of hold him hostage, you know? And I do feel bad for Tom in a way, because, I mean, I remember he was talking about he was at D10 when he found out, and they're like, yeah, you can't take pictures with anybody. Like, you can't go hang out with them, like, in front of the camera. And he's like, I just want to go hang out with my friends.
Spider-Man was pulled out of the MCU. It was pulled out of the MCU.
Right. And he's like, do I have a job? And his agent said, I don't know. Like, I don't know. And it's like, I feel bad.
He was there for Onward though, but he wasn't able to do anything for Spider-Man though.
Right. He wasn't able to go hang out with the entire like MCU. So he said that really sucked for him, and that really hurt. Like he said, like that day he called Feige and got
in touch with Iger
and said, hey, I just want to thank you for everything. If this doesn't work out, like, thank you so much. This has been a dream come true. And then he drunk called Iger, which is really funny. Did you hear that story?
Yeah, I heard that.
I love that story. He drunk called Iger and was like, you got to make this work. You got to do this for me. And like, I mean, yeah, props to him. It worked. But I think he called the Sony CEO too. It was like, yeah, you guys got to make this work. Like, people love me. Basically what he said. And it's like, that's fair. So,
oh yeah, people love Holland and Spider-Man.
Yeah, I mean, people just love Spider-Man, but
all right. Well, anyway, guys,
we talked about Spider-Man for half an hour.
Anyway, guys, that is going to wrap it up on our discussion. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and like the video for more content like this. Josh, you want to plug anything?
Yeah, so I'm Josh. I've known Liam for about a year now. We've bonded over all this, so I love being able to do this. Hopefully, we could do this more, maybe with different things come out, different movies or whatever. Yes, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's J_Bender76. I also do, as I said, I dress up as Spider-Man. I do Spider-Man appearances. That's at Illinois Spidey, and I have a podcast of my own. I talk about politics. I'm trying to convince him to actually let me talk about all this stuff. My buddy Kevin, who's my other co-host. He's not budging yet, but I'm going to see if I can get him to. But that's at Civil Discourse Pod on Instagram, and then Civil Discourse on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So please check all that out. I'd really appreciate it. And thank you guys very much.
Very nice. Be sure to, once again, be sure to subscribe, guys. Follow me if you want on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler. It's all at Liam501ST. And thank you guys for watching through this whole video. And we'll talk to you guys later.